for it, Brad.
We got it, man. It's shift and steer. And everybody's here in the house. Got Aaron over there, Matt down there, me right here, Brad.
Here's a story
guys,
of a guy named Bradley.
I don't know if you've been noticing, but I've been posting some stuff on my my Instagram and Facebook pages because I'm going through cleaning out my warehouse so I can move more of my other junk in. And I've been doing this thing, Let's Trade. And I've been getting some interesting offers. I haven't got that billet box. I don't know if you saw that I put it up. I had somebody offer me a 63 Chevy pickup truck for that billet box. But I was not willing to go across the United States or have it transported, not really knowing the condition. But there's some really cool stuff coming this way. And it's fun just cleaning out the warehouse. There you go, man. Oh, guys, I know this isn't cool for the show and everything, but I gotta take this call really quick. And can you hold on? Hey, can I call you back? Yeah. It was an old call, so I can call him back. It's kind of
is that a BlackBerry?
Clean out your warehouse.
Did you pull out a BlackBerry?
No, this is actually a Trio.
Oh, a Trio.
A lot of our listeners may not even know what a Trio was.
Don't know what it is. I wasn't a PC guy.
It was high tech at the time. So, hey guys, Indy 500 is going to happen. But before we talk about that on today's show, along with all the stuff on the 2021 F150, Matt, do we have a sponsor?
Yes, we do. Let me just grab the paper.
Yes, we do. I throw him on the spot every week.
Yeah.
Comes
it's
out like
on Speed Watches.
Yeah, we got it. Our friends at Geico, though we're apart these days, we are sharing more, and Geico would just like to say thanks for that. Thanks for sharing all your great videos and your posts and car videos and dog videos and all that fun stuff. And it's Geico's turn to say thanks as well. Geico would like to say thanks with their Geico Give Back. It's a 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. And because Geico is committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. So visit geico.com/giveback for more information. That's geico.com/giveback.
Nice, Geico. Thank you. Thanks to the lizard.
Hey, guys. Yeah. One other little thing right before we get going. So cleaning out my warehouse, like I said, and you see right over my shoulder, right there, yeah, that's an original Ed Roth pen and ink drawing from his old T-shirt factory. And dude, I bought that at the RM auction years ago when they had it at the Peterson Museum. I paid way too much for it. I forgot I had it. Dude, I forgot I had it. So,
well, do you want to sell it for a fraction of what you paid for it?
No. I pulled it out finally, and Rick here in my office framed it, and I have a pinstriper coming in next week. And in this negative area right here, I'm having some really cool pinstriping put in. And then on the black frame, I'm doing tonal gloss black on the black frame, and going to put it up in my office at home. So it should be kind of cool. It's kind of neat to have that history. Right above it, you can't really see it, but right across here, it says, because that was the Corsair, it says Corsair Nostra in pencil. And so it must have been started and then never finished. And it's kind of cool. It's got the original auction card on the back of the frame and everything with the estimate price and all that. So anyways.
Wow, that's really cool, Brad.
Hey, part of our whole thing is the Indy 500. We missed it this year on Memorial Day weekend, but I know by now you guys saw that they announced that it's coming back, 50% capacity, August 23rd. So the 104th right now is due to go. But you guys, do you realize that's still a hell of a lot of people? Because
it is. Now, keep in mind, they say 50%. It's going to be plus. It's gonna be a heavy 50%.
I mean, it's 203,000 seats, Matt. So,
yeah, it's gonna be. First of all, they had already sold 60% of the tickets, so they're gonna be good about it. But
plus, you got the suite on top of that.
If you can get a ticket, this is probably an interesting year to go because it's so much traffic getting in and out of the venue. This might be the only time you don't have to go like 4 hours earlier,
or go big time with a helicopter landing on the infield.
Yeah.
Parachute.
I'm interested in going. We've been talking about it for a while about going, so I'm going to try to put it together and try to make it happen and see if I can get out there.
Cool.
Yeah,
well,
it'll be fun.
There's probably a whole lot of people that of those 60-70% that pre-bought that now won't be able to go because it's not the time of year they had taken the vacation off or jobs have changed or whatever. So, but we'll keep you posted on that because it's going to be interesting. When will testing start? When, it's going to be, because testing in August, the weather's going to be different. The air's going to be different. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It should be a good year.
It will be, but I know that the drivers and their teams are so eager to make this race happen, even though the conditions will be different. I know they all want to make this thing happen. A side note on the ticket sales, by the way, they are saying, hey, if you are high risk, if you're 65 or older or any conditions, if you have a ticket, you probably shouldn't go. If you're going to try to get tickets, you probably shouldn't do it. Like, just be mindful of what's going on and where we are with that kind of stuff. So
unless you're Sammy Hagar, because I read that he doesn't care.
Yeah,
he does not care.
That is so not cool. And people are twisting words, making things up, and
hey, it's all about the headlines, dude. It's all about the headlines.
Yeah, but when it's someone it hurts. But when it's your family, man, it's like, come on, you guys, knock that shit off. We're all suffering through this thing in our own way. We're all a little freaked out in our own way. We're all dealing with it. But don't be making shit up trying to make someone look bad. Dad's an icon. He's a very special person and had a great life and career. So don't fucking tarnish it now, assholes.
They took that from like 2 months ago, twisted all the words around, and that's what happens all the time. And
create a little and it's a little reference here.
You know what it is Rolling Stone has nothing to put out there right now because there's no shows, no anything, and all of this other news is taking its place. So they're grasping, and that's what happens. Yeah. But I saw your dad put up a cool post to kind of counter it. And that's cool. Yeah. Keeps it all out there.
And by the way, let's not assume everybody knows what we're talking about here. Rolling Stone did an interview with your dad months ago, published it now, and clearly there's a lot of things that are no longer accurate or relevant because they held the story for so long. And coronavirus and riots, everything progressed so quickly that, there's stuff we've said a week ago that's less relevant than it is today. That's just the way it works. But I don't know, like, I see your point. I don't even know why they published what they did. And, Brad's saying because they don't have anything else to say.
There's no content.
But Rolling Stone is our friend, though. It's like
I don't
they're
know.
Our ally, our colleague. It's like, why would they twist it up like that, man? It's not cool,
It's not cool.
But 72 years old, It's like, don't pick on him now. Jeez.
Right? Yeah, it's too late. You missed your opportunity.
Pick on him when he was in his 30s, could kick your ass. Actually, pick up when he was in his 60s, he could kick your ass.
Hey, the good thing, Aaron, is your dad. We all know him. He's not gonna take any shit. He's gonna give it back, and that's what's good. Yeah. It's really cool, but because we all know what the artists are going through. We all know what the entertainers are going through. We all have connections. And there's nothing happening. They don't know what's going to go on. And I mean, it's like Corolla, man. He's thrown out there that he wants it renamed the Corolla virus just so he can get more. But no.
So we get some traction.
We want to tell you all about the 2021 F-150 because Matt, he logged into the virtual press conference. We all boned up on that. But before we do, let's hit a couple other things really quick. One is delay of the new Ford Bronco release because there was a little bit of an F up there. It happened to be scheduled on O.J. Simpson's birthday. And there is a link, if you don't know, between O.J. Simpson and the Ford Bronco. So
it's hard to believe that was a coincidence.
Hard to believe. It's one of those things. But hey, they got a lot of publicity off of it, didn't they?
All the things.
Look, they moved the press release, the press conference, a few days later, and you're right. I don't really believe it was intentional, but the amount of chatter, I guess you would say, on social media about this just made the Bronco like the most anticipated release of all time. So like it was.
But you don't think it was intentional?
I don't think it was intentional.
Deep down, somebody said, if we put it on there, we might be able to get a little extra juice out of it.
Someone had to know.
Yeah.
Someone had to know.
And did you get the press kit, Matt, the little box? It looked like a highway sign to the 405, and it had a can of orange juice in it. Now tell me that wasn't intentional.
Mine had apple juice, but they used the Sharpie to cross out orange, and they wrote apple. So when you opened it, it was fine. Anyway, enough playing around with that. Ford has some big news with their new F-150. Obviously, a very, very significant product in their lineup. It generates such a huge amount of sales. This is essentially the Apple iPhone for Ford. It's a very profitable thing. They sell a lot, and they are able to invest enough money, billions, into the development of this platform to make it as good as possible because it's going to be so significant for them. So this is what we know about a new F-150 is the design style that they've had for the current model, the 215, the 2015 and current, has been doing very well for them. So they didn't want to deviate from that style too much. However, every body panel on the truck is new. There is, it's a little bit bolder look. It's a little bit tougher look. This new headlamp design that they're doing, headlamp and rear, this C-clamp design that they're calling it, slightly new wraparound bumpers, a little bit of a hood design they're calling their power dome hood. It has a higher front fender in it. It has more of a tucked in midsection. It's got a little bit more of styling on the side. It has larger wheel wells, possibly for off-road or in the aftermarket as you start to change the wheels and tires, of course. And I believe the track overall is about 3/4 of an inch wider. And I don't have the exact specs on the truck. I can't say if the truck is wider or if just the track is wider, right? And
now I don't know, man.
Roads are all my wheel customers want a lip, and it keeps getting harder and harder.
It keeps getting harder. Yeah, that actually.
And the roads are getting narrower. The roads are getting narrower.
They are
too, man.
It's interesting. I just recently drove a Volvo SUV, which is lovely, by the way. It looks good, and comments on social media are going, "Hey, man, what's going on with these companies going with this flat-faced wheel that they're doing?" And you could say, "Hey, it's doing that type of cast wheel is less expensive, but it's really about moving that track out as far as they can." So, but to do that, to move the brakes out, to move the suspension out, you don't get any lip on the wheel anymore. You're basically pushing those that hub as far out to the edge of the vehicle as possible. So
they started doing that in the 90s also, so that they could, remember how it used to be years ago, every assembly line only did a specific car. You know, it was like, that's Mustang assembly line, and they could send cars down as things became robotic, where the robot would just read a barcode and just, you know, go over and pull the right part, put it on. They could send the cars down the same assembly line, so they tried getting them the same width. And it killed us performance guys who want to get a big lip. Now you got to narrow rear ends and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this makes no sense socially because everybody wants big lips and big rear ends. So
yeah, right.
I know, all around.
I'm not a big lip, big rear end guy, so I totally get you, man.
Speaking of
big lips and big rear ends.
Speaking of
what
big
the
lips,
hell's going on? I just like headlights. Give me 2 big headlights, 10 inches. I'm good.
Oh my God!
I know, but you know what you left out, Aaron, are those Ford F150s. They have those huge front headlights.
Well, hey, the first thing I did on my Morgan is get rid of those 6.5s, put some 10s on there. So,
all right, go ahead, Matt. We're way off.
All right. So, speaking of big lips, there are 11 front grille options in the lineup between all the different, you know, the XL, the XLT. You know, there's 11 different grill options for it.
We're not going to recognize them.
We're going to get some good grills, man, you know?
Also, this is a great new evolution in the Ford lineup.
I'll tell you what I dig about it is that onboard generator to where you can run tools. Now, I know they're not the first to do it, but from the photos, Matt, didn't you think they really executed it well? The tailgate work surface, everything.
They did, and right before we get into that, I will just say, as far as the body, as we're finishing on that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It is the most aerodynamic F-150 that they've done.
Really?
And it's interesting to look at such a muscular, boxy style, but if you spend enough time in the wind tunnel, you can nip and tuck a few things to make it work. There's also active grille shutters on it. So at different speeds and stuff, you basically have active aerodynamics on it.
Wow.
And on some of the versions, not all of them, it will deploy an active air dam that will come down and provide reduced drag and improve fuel economy. But yes.
So what you're saying is, it's going to be really expensive.
Well,
I know everything keeps getting added on, and
man, that's badass though. That is really cool.
Now, as far as the onboard power, because there are 6 engine options, including now a hybrid model, and the hybrid model, they haven't listed any of the horsepower specs. On any of the engines, even the carryover engines, they haven't released the horsepower specs. We do know 10-speed transmission.
I saw a 420 horsepower, 480 torque spec on that hybrid motor. You didn't see that?
Wow.
No, they're saying the hybrid will be the highest horsepower version of what they have, and there is going to be a Coyote V8. So I don't know that that's an accurate piece of information. The official information that I got from Ford does not list horsepower and specs, horsepower and torque. However, the hybrid version with a 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine combined with electric motors and a battery will have up to 700 miles of range between its battery and gas combined. That's pretty significant. Also, 12,000-pound towing capacity. Because the immediate torque on that engine is a huge improvement. And if you think about where we've gone up to this point, we talked a lot about hybrid technology being used for fuel efficiency, Toyota Prius and things. And then we started dabbling with hybrid technology in the supercar world to improve performance, right? We talk about cars where you have a V8 or whatever engine in the back that's turbo powered. But because of that turbo lag, we're using electrification to fill in that gap. Accurate NSX is a great example, right? off the line, those electric motors kick in immediately, immediate torque off the line. And then when those turbos kick in, it's very seamless. So now in the truck world, we're able to use hybrid technology to fill in the gaps of torque for towing and for fuel economy. We're sort of getting the combination of all of these things. Now, because the hybrid specifically has onboard battery power now, the F-150 can have a generator built in. Instead of going to the job site and having a generator that's gas powered that you have to fire up to plug in power tools and things like that, you can do that right into the tail of this truck. There are power outlets, multiple 110 power outlets.
Quite a few, yeah.
And they're like, they have the specs on all of what it is, the amount of volts, the amount of amps that you can draw. And this isn't like just a radar detector. Like you can plug in a full-size refrigerator and a microwave and power your tools. Also, when you're driving the vehicle, you can plug things into the back of the bed so you can charge things as you're going. But the one cool feature that you're mentioning is this generator that's built in also has an option for 220, or I guess 240, 220. I don't know where we are in this now, which means if you're going to a job site, or in our world, let's say you're going to the racetrack, you can show up with your F-150 with a welder in the back and basically have that on site with you.
Well, you know what the other thing is, guys,
that's pretty cool.
Not everybody has a 220 outlet for a welder. And if your buddy's coming over to work on your car with you, he can plug it into the back of his Ford truck, weld on your car, and, you know, that's the guy you always want to invite over.
Well, I have to say, too, for overlanding, I don't see a lot of Ford trucks out on the road. You see a lot of Toyota. You see a lot of Toyota trucks. You see, you see some Nissans, but mostly it's Toyota. Toyota rules the overlanding world in trucks. But I have to say, boy, this is a game changer, because I would like to see some more Ford trucks out there overlanding. I mean, you could imagine the bed rack on there with a pop-up tent, on the top, a rooftop. And then you have all your accessories and all your outlets and your lighting and you could plug everything into the back of the truck. That's badass, man.
And multiple really outlets. Cool. And this isn't like, hey, if you use the outlet in the rear, you can't use the outlet in the front. Like you can use them all, which is pretty cool. So as we talked about on the engine, so the 3.5 liter, they have the EcoBoost. They have what's called the Power Boost. This is the full hybrid V6 platform, and up to 700 miles on a single tank, and tows 12,000 pounds capacity, which is significant. Now, getting into the inside of the vehicle, especially for people that are working, they did push a lot of the working aspect of it, but there are some convenient things in here that are actually pretty cool. First off, if you guys have noticed in any of the pictures, in their surveys and talking to customers, people want a center console shifter. They don't want anything up on the column anymore. That's pretty much dead.
Yeah.
But you want a workable space. So there is a center console shifter. And then when you park the vehicle, you can hit a button to fold that shifter completely flat and flush into the center console. And then your armrest has a flap that comes down, kind of like on an airplane, and makes a flat tray above the center console and above the shifter. So now you can put your lunch on there. You can put a laptop on there. It's a completely flat area. Imagine just flying first class and you got the nice tray next to you. But what would normally be a center console can go completely flat, which is really just a very cool, very smart feature, and not overly complicated to make that happen. Just was the result of them talking to customers.
It really sounds as if the Ford engineers are preparing for when we have to escape the cities, and when all civil unrest just goes crazy and we have to jump in our trucks and head out into the mountains.
Bug out.
It gets better, because the front seats now are basically designed to be like business class airline seats, and the front seat, both front seats will fold completely flat if you want to nap in there or sleep in there. And as you guys know, the bottom cushion, when you lean your seat back, you can never get the bottom cushion to go straight with the back.
Yeah, it's always got that little bit of an angle.
Yeah. So the bottom cushion, the back will lean back, and then the bottom cushion kind of kicks up and then does make it flat. And then where your shoulders are, there's another piece in there, like on an airplane, that can kick forward to give you to lean up a little bit if you want to. So the two front seats basically recline like a business class airline seat. And then the rear, I believe in certain options, the rear will be a fold flat rear seat that you can basically sleep back there as well. I don't know that you can lean the front seats back and have somebody sleep in the back. I don't think it's 3 people. I think you could do 2, or you could do 1 in the back, which is kind of neat. And then underneath the rear seat, there is a full pass-through if you want. The seats will fold completely flat or fold up, but there's also a full-length lockable box. You can put dividers in there, but the lock is built in. So if you do want to, throw a few things in the back of the vehicle and lock it, you can still lock your truck, but also under the rear seat, there's another lockable box.
A secure storage area,
yeah, which is cool because let's say you're on a job site, you do have some valuable things, some power tools, some information, or let's just say you're actually dealing with somebody in the form of cash or something on a job site, or collecting money and checks. You can lock all of that stuff away in there, but then still go out to lunch or dinner and valet park the car and not have to worry about where is that stuff on the inside, right? You can lock more stuff. So that's kind of a cool thing as well.
And speaking of the inside, the interior is gorgeous. The King Ranch, right? That's their high
King Ranch. Top.
No,
it
is a version, but the Platinum. Yeah, the Platinum is fantastic. It's got some diamond stitch seats.
Gorgeous.
We do have a 12-inch screen, and this isn't 4 inches tall and 12 inches wide. This is basically a square 12-inch diagonal screen. It has built-in CarPlay, Android Auto, several other features, touchscreen, split screen, which is pretty cool. And it has Sync 4, which is their latest version of that, which is kind of cool. Now, if you don't want the full 12-inch screen, there is an 8-inch version that's available. And the dash now is also a completely digital dash like we've seen on the new Mustangs, which means now we can configure the displays.
So, Matt, it sounds like Ford should send each of us one of these trucks to do our show from. We'd each be sitting in one right now. And we could use all of these, great add-ons and show it off.
Actually, it probably would work better in the truck than it would be with our shitty internet connections that we have here.
So the truck has its own internet?
And the Sync 4 is, like I said, CarPlay and Android compatible, as well as their Sync apps, which they have Waze and they have Ford and Alexa. Oh, mine just beeped because I said that. So 8-speaker sound system. It's got all the good stuff in it. There's an 8-speaker sound system normal, and then there's an 18-speaker option for Lariat, King Ranch, and big panoramic roof and
so
the whole
if you
thing.
want 10 more speakers.
Yeah.
So
very, very cool. Wow. Very cool
so
stuff.
In summary, it's a pretty damn nice truck that they have to start. And now they're adding all these additional things to it to make it even better. Because
it has the latest version of Ford Copilot 360, which is their 2.0 version. This is basically hands-free driving. I don't want to say autopilot, but this is the latest version of what, let's say, Tesla was doing. Cadillac's version is pretty good. This is the new version for Ford, which is pretty cool. And it has, of course, all of the latest camera features, different zone lighting, anti-theft, trailer anti-theft, trailer light check, different lights all around it. So as you're backing up, you can turn on lights. It has their trailer assist, just the latest technology.
So no more,
everywhere.
So no more sinking your truck in the lake, Brad.
Yeah,
well, that never happened, but I have seen it happen. Hey, speaking of autopilot, did you guys see the new Burger King commercial?
Burger King commercial?
Yes, there's a Burger King.
I don't watch TV.
And the guy's driving a Tesla, and he has it on autopilot. And it's something they took off of social media. And the guy's driving his car, and he goes, I don't know what it is with my new Tesla. Every time it sees a Burger King sign, it starts slowing down and reads the Burger King sign. It comes up as a stop sign. And the guy goes, see, here it is now. And he shows it. And then this little thing comes up, and it just says, I guess Tesla's smarter than we thought they were. Burger King. If you come to Burger King with a Tesla smart car, we'll give you a free Whopper. So Tesla's, their autopilot is reading Burger King signs as a stop sign.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was awesome. I mean,
great for Burger King.
Great marketing on Burger King.
Yeah, great for Burger King's. Yeah, great for them.
It was just awesome. Hey, before
someone needs to rewrite that algorithm.
Speaking of trucks, now guys, I didn't even know. Maybe I had my head in the sand, but last year, GMC and SVE, Special Vehicle Engineering, got together and reintroduced the Cyclone. Did you guys know that?
I did hear about a Cyclone, and I saw just like I don't even know if it was standard cab, and if I remember it was like supercharged. I was like, yeah, it's not very Cyclone-ish for me, so I didn't give it much attention. But what's going on with it now? The
original Cyclone and Typhoon, they were legendary, and
yeah.
So they built 100 of them last year. And it was the price of the truck plus $40,000, $39,995.
It looks. I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty good.
Oh, it looks great, but at the end of the day, the 2021 they're only going to make 50. They're saying, and it is $80,000 over the price of the truck. You have to go in and buy a brand new truck, and then they send it over and do it. So you're talking $116,000. Now it's 750 horse, 600 foot-pounds of torque, which is, I mean, that's stout. But but in a canyon, how many people are going to do that? I mean, what do you guys think? Yeah, I just think it seems like a reach.
Yeah, it says all-wheel drive V8 supercharged, so it's definitely like it was traditionally. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Trucks are so expensive now anyway. It's like I can't see putting that much more money into one.
They say they have 10 on pre-order of the 50 already. That seems to me like it's probably, okay, Hendrick bought one. My buddy who's got the 500 car collection bought one. You know, there's like 10 big collectors that said, oh, yeah, I'll throw it in the collection. But I just, I don't know. I know they're only doing 50. There's a lot of people out there. And there might be somebody who just goes, I gotta have one. But
yeah, well, I can definitely say there's always a market. I mean, I think that's a good number for an addition. Yeah.
It looks cool, and I get there could be some collectability to it. I'm sure it's a blast to drive, but I don't know. That price is a tough one.
Yeah. Although, when the original ones came out, I remember going into the dealership to get my Grand National and that I bought, and that was expensive. And sitting there was a Cyclone, and because it was a GMC Pontiac and Buick, and I remember seeing the price tag on that, and it was like $40,000 or something, which for that back then was just as much money. Guess now when I put it in that perspective, it's not that different.
Yeah.
Up here in Tahoe a while back, our buddy Sean Palmer had a couple of them, and he was collecting them. He was always a Cadillac guy, but he started getting obsessed with these things, and then life changed, and we started to see him go, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'll pick up one of his Cyclones, and and because they're kind of cool. And
they're very cool.
I was a year or two late, because when I started looking them up on Craigslist and stuff, I'm going, they want what for these? And they need to be completely rebuilt because they didn't last very well. But yeah, it's like up in Tahoe, we had like a dozen of them go through in a year and gone, and they're big money now. It's like, wow.
The 80s are back. The 80s
yeah,
are back.
Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
Matt, you could have spent more money restoring one of these than you did on your Fox bodies there.
Well, I mean, you make it sound like it's over. Like that could be what's next.
Why don't you do a Fox body Cyclone? There you go.
Believe me, I look at every one of these Cyclones and Typhoons at Barrett Jackson and on Bring a Trailer, every one of them that goes up for sale. And I haven't done enough of a deep dive into the pros and cons of them. Like, we all love them. They think they're cool, but
the con is the plastic interior that falls apart. But hey guys, we got to wrap it up already. And since you mentioned Bring a Trailer, did you guys see Bring a Trailer was sold to Hearst?
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
They announced it yesterday afternoon. And with that, we're going to say Shift and Steer is out of here. And guys, thank you very much. Good show, man. F-150.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Can't wait to drive one, see one in person, because they look incredible, man. Yeah. Hey, everybody, go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and a comment. I've seen your comments. We've been checking them out. Thank you. And lastly, don't forget that we are putting up these video versions on our Facebook page. So go there, check them out. And we're a little behind, but we are getting caught up. Guys, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Always good fun. Take care.